Hey guys, welcome to another episode of As Told by Ari. I think I've retaken this about 3 times now, so if you can't tell how much of a struggle bus it's been being home over the last week, well, that should let you know. If you don't know what's been going on in Pittsburgh, a few days ago, Antwon Rose Jr. was murdered by an East Pittsburgh police officer, Michael Rossfield. He shot him 3 times in the back, and it's been very unsettling. It's been very hard. Just because not that we haven't all been affected by the murders that have happened at the hands of police officers, but it's different when it's in your home. And it's very different when it's the very cops that you have literally your whole life you've been taught were there to protect you. I didn't really get on this episode really to say much on that. I guess I really wanted to make this episode because I think this has been grueling on every single one of us. For his friends and family, they've suffered an unimaginable loss. It's unimaginable. For the community, there's a hole there. As a young person of color, there is now a very real fear there. And I guess this episode, no matter how long or short it is, I hope the overall message that I can send is that for the Black community, we have to do better. We have to be better. We have to stop killing each other. We have to stop hating each other. We have to be so much better. Because for every Black person that dies at the hands of another Black person, it gives them reason to keep acting as though we're not people. It feeds the idea that we are just mere animals for them to chase down, tag, and catch, and kill if need be, if they want to. At any time they want to. I know that there are various avenues for our community. But I also understand that there are so many unspoken issues that rest in the Black community, and that's why those resources are almost null and void. Like, they don't matter. We have always been taught how to fight. No matter if you grew up in, I don't know, dude. No matter where you've grown up, you've learned how to fight somehow. Whether that means it's had to be illegal, whether that means it's had to have been questionable, whether that means it has been through sheer blessing. We have learned how to fight. So what we need to learn how to do is to fight for one another, not to fight one another. It has been so hard seeing so many of our community, so many people of our community look as though they don't see another reason to keep going. It is so, I don't even have the words for it. To know that there are so many young Black people that feel a certain animosity towards their fellow Black people. For no reason, really. We protest and we rally and we riot the second one of us is murdered by the police. because it's wrong. It's not supposed to happen. But we have to apply that same force when it comes to us killing each other as well. We have to unite. This can't continue. They can't continue to keep taking more of us away. And the only thing that we know how to do is protest and fight. But we stay silent the second one of us does it to our own. We give them so much power when we do it. And they don't deserve that type of power. We saw Leon Ford give the eulogy for Antwon Rose Jr. today. And to see that kind of, I don't even know the word. To see a victim of police brutality give the eulogy of another victim, I'll never be able to put into words what that was like. I will never be able to put into words what that was like. Antwon's death cannot be in vain. And every single time we kill one another, it gives them more power to take us away from our loved ones, from this world, from our community, it has to stop. For every young person of color, this is our time to stop it. We have to stop it. Because we shouldn't be having funerals for people who are 17 years old. We shouldn't be having funerals for people who were taken from this world way too young. Those should not be the things that make us see how wrong everything is going on. No. 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 We, as a people, I am strictly talking about Black people, for our community, we have to stop the violence. We have to. While we know that Black on Black crime is a lame argument for people who don't want to really talk about racism when it's present, it is still an actual issue. It's a problem. And honestly, if we can't change this type of violence in our own community, I genuinely do not know how we are supposed to look at the rest of the world and tell them to stop killing us too. I don't understand. I will never be able to understand it. Because I don't know about you guys, but I know I am sick and tired. I am so sick and tired of giving people the ammunition to argue when we say to stop killing us. There's no argument to that. There's no argument. Yet somehow, no matter how much we protest, no matter how much we riot, we scream, we pray, we can't even stop killing ourselves for them. We can't even stop to think how much this will affect our community before it even gets there. We never do that. We never do that. During all the madness that's happened because of the death of Antwon, there was a shooting. And 4 people died. And no, it was not at the hands of a police officer. It was done by a member of our own community. We have to stop the violence. We have to stop the violence first before we can expect anyone else to do it. Because as long as we continue to see our own community as worthless and as nothing more than a stomping ground or target practice, we'll never be able to expect the same ideas, even, from anywhere else. In no way am I giving credibility to those that say, well, we're talking about police on black violence. Well, let's talk about black on black violence. I'm not giving any type of validation to those arguments because usually, they're null and void. They don't matter. They hold no real moral standing to what's being talked about. But as one young black woman who is already so tired of seeing all of the destruction that has come from the violence, I know I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one hurting, the only one questioning the world around me. I know I am not the only one still sitting here wondering why it had to be 17-year-old Antwon Rose Jr. So with that being said, I know I'm not the only one that notices that there is an epidemic in our own community that we have to fix before we can expect anyone else to give a shit. They're not going to care about our bodies hitting the ground. They're not going to care about our mothers mourning our bodies, our lives. They're not going to care about the friends that we have to leave behind when they take one of us out because all they see is us doing it to each other. And we are so much more than that. Our community is so much more than that. So while the protests should continue, while the shutdowns should continue, because what happened to him was a crime, it was a murder that he should get justice for. We cannot expect change or justice unless we put that same idea, those same ideas, into our own community. As people of color, we are far more than hashtags. We are far more than the rallies that people get behind when we perish. We are brains and ideas and memories, and we are beings that are put here for a purpose. But because we cannot recognize the own toxicity of our own community, because we cannot accept that we have to change too, a lot of us do not get to live to see that purpose. We don't get a chance to live out that purpose. We're done with that. Love each and every member of the community as hard as you can. No, we are not perfect. We are the farthest thing from perfect. I'm not asking anyone to do anything that they can't do for somebody. I'm asking you guys to try. I'm asking you to think hard. I'm asking you to reach out in any way that you can. I'm asking you to volunteer your time. I'm asking you to be more involved. Change has to start with us first. Hell, if the world cannot see what we see, then we need to give them an example of what it is that we are, and that is glorious. We are glorious people. We are resilient and strong. And if no one else can see that, then we're going to show them. We're going to start to show them. If they haven't seen history already, well, then we're going to continue to add to our own history. Be it the marches, be it the protests. But before you do any of that, you need to take the minute, the second, the hour, however long it takes you to get the idea that we have to change for the better, for each other. Because if the world isn't going to protect us, then we need to protect ourselves. As individuals, as brothers and sisters, as neighbors, as friends, as strangers. Vote. Talk. Care. Ask questions. We matter, guys. And if the world can't see that we matter, if there are people in our own city that can't see that we matter, we need to show each other that we matter. And how we do that is that we stop taking out our own people and give in to them the same way we would ask for everyone to give in to us. I love you guys, and I'm so sorry. I am so sorry that I can't do more than be there. I'm sorry that all we can do is offer kind words and condolences until we stop doing this, until it stops. And how we stop it is by changing our own community. Pray for everybody. And if that's not your thing, well, think of them and send as many positive vibes their way as you can. To the family of Antwon Rose Jr., we're not going to let you down. We're not going to let him be another hashtag, another moment for people to think on. He's going to live on through us each and every single day. For every college graduate, we're going to make so many moves just for him. For Pittsburgh, for Woodland Hills, for everyone that's been affected by your loss. I'm so sorry.